Hi everyone, so I just want to do a quick update with Amazon Flex. Things have changed. Things have changed, people. Things have changed. Okay, so the last time I made a video was a couple days ago, literally a couple days ago, last Saturday. Excuse me, maybe it's a week, okay? So last Saturday, I had the best shift ever. I finished in 2 hours. I was done, didn't have to return anything. It was beautiful. Raving about Amazon Flex at that point. I was so excited to start my next shift, which was the following day, Sunday. Sunday I arrived a few minutes late. I had my app going to get me there in time. I had some issues with traffic, so on and so forth, but I said, okay, so since I am en route, they know I'm en route, I should be fine, right? So I arrived there, not so much. Last time I remember making a post about saying, oh, if you arrive late, sometimes they're able to give you a shift and whatnot. They're really kind and willing to do things for you. I ran into a different person today at the warehouse, or not today, that day, and that wasn't the case. So the person said, well, we're sorry, once you're 5 minutes past arrival, your block is forfeited and there's nothing we can do about it. So anything can happen in your route when your app is taking you to the warehouse. Say an accident happens and you're not planning on it, you're supposed to arrive early, it turns out that you don't. Too bad, so sad, you're forfeited. Your block. You forfeit it. They can't do anything about it. So, I was pretty upset. There was a guy that was ahead of me who was kind of upset as well. A gentleman had just left, pulled out. I guess I was told the same thing. The other guy was just sitting there. I had met one of the girls at the warehouse before. She was super nice. Eventually, she called me in to pull in and start loading up my car. The other gentleman was told to leave. Yeah, so I got my shift. That's good. I had about 70 packages, and I was like, okay, looking at where they were, getting an idea of where the zip code and whatnot of where I was driving in, seemed interesting. So I was like, okay, I'll just throw as much as I can in my car. There's a couple of packages that could not fit. I packed it tight. So I took off, went and started my route. I started off great. I kept going. It wasn't like I was moving slow as molasses. I did as much as I could, as fast as I could. At the end of my block, which I was scheduled for till 5, I realized I had 10 or so packages still in my vehicle. I was not intending on working until 7 o'clock because I had other plans for that night. So, as far as I know, they only pay you for 3-hour blocks. So, what I understood, if you can't finish it, it's okay. Just bring all your packages back to the warehouse, and move forward. So I also thought you were supposed to mark on your itinerary whether you attempted or whatnot. So I went back to the warehouse, since it was only my second time actually delivering for Amazon Flex, to see what I was supposed to do. The person who was there, told me that I was supposed to finish my block even though it was taking me longer than the 3 hours. And if I didn't, I would receive an email stating that you're supposed to receive or to finish your block. And basically it's a warning. I was like, okay, that's odd. All right then. But she's like yelling at me at this point, or pretty close to it. Like, obviously peed off that I was there with packages, because apparently it reflects negatively on them if they're not delivering in a certain amount of time, which I understand, but honestly, you scheduled me for 3 hours, I'm working the 3 freaking hours, and that's it. So she was a little mad, pissy about it, was taking the packages. I left. I received an email, like, I believe a few days later, stating that you did not complete your block. Shame on you, and this should not happen again, or could harm your ability to work for Amazon Flex in the future. At this point, obviously, I'm a little pissed off myself, due to the fact that you're scheduling 3-hour blocks. You're advertising $18 an hour at the least. And if you finish before, you get maybe up to $25 an hour for working. Now, it does not state that it can take longer. As far as I know, if I'm wrong, you guys please let me know. But I just don't see the sense in all of this. Okay, so if it may take longer, I expect you to pay me for that amount that I am spending past a 3-hour block you're scheduling me for. That is not the case. As far as I know, if you work past 3 hours with Amazon Flex, your block for 3 hours is all they're paying you. So when you factor in how much additional time and how much they're paying you for your block, at this point, if I were to deliver all the packages that I had left, because they weren't as close as I would have liked them to be, like my first shift, official full shift, it would have taken me another hour and a half, 2 hours. That's roughly, for me, like when I factor in gas or stuff like that, I'm making like $10, $12 an hour. I mean, if I want to make that, honestly, I'm not going to go and use my car mileage driving around a place I don't know and pay for gas, which at this point is a little pricey in the area. At least for me, it's more than I would like to pay. I just don't see the point of it. I mean, I can go work down the street at the mall. I make just as much, and I'm staying in one location, air conditioning, because it's hot as hell out there right now. So I just don't see it. And you're not paying me additional. So if I work, say I'm working at the mall, I'm scheduled to work 4 hours, I'm going to work 4 hours. But if they need me to stay because someone didn't come in, they're going to pay me those additional hours. And that's what I expect. But Amazon Flex doesn't get that. So they want you to finish, your route, even though they're only paying you for 3 hours and you possibly are working for 5. No, I'm sorry. I will find another side hustle that would pay me just as much, if not more, and not require me to work past the block scheduled, and you're not going to pay me for it. So at this point, I do not think I'm going to take any more shifts for Amazon Flex. If some reason I do, something has changed. Meaning that I am in a pinch for money, which I highly doubt. For right now, that is not the case. Or they've changed the way they've operated or are going to operate. I just don't get it. I think it's ridiculous. I called Amazon, the number that was provided in the email that I received, and I've emailed them back with my response of how ridiculous this is, and you're just trying to get people to work for dirt cheap. And the amount of work is required. It's not just like, I know people explain it as, okay, you scan a package and that's it. I mean, you have to load these packages in your car. You're going through all the packages in your car. You try to, organize them in a way that it's not so time consuming. But in all reality, it does take some time to figure out what package or packages you need. You're trying to follow a really crappy GPS system that really isn't quite what it should be. And then the scanner is finicky at times. So, yeah, not worth it. Sorry, Amazon Flex. Loved ya. Now I hate ya. Bye.